Hello, sweetie pies.
Okay, now let's get right into it.
Sure.
Now, you have been mayor in Columbia since 2010, and the past 7 years has not been the same since. You know, Columbia is now famously hot. What has the past 7 years been like for you?
Oh, uh, it's been an honor of a lifetime to have a chance to serve the city that I love, to play a role in shaping the world that my children are growing up in. It's something we've taken very seriously. We've been working very hard to try and put Columbia on the national stage and sometimes on the international stage, and to start seeing the fruits of all of our collective labors finally uh, uh, being available to all of us. It's pretty cool. It's been a wonderful blessing.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know, some of our sweetie pies may be new to the area. Let's back up a little bit, and can you just tell them a little bit about yourself and how this journey began?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was born at 8:09 a.m. on December 1st, 1904. This fall I will celebrate my 30th year in Columbia. I came here as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed freshman at the University of South Carolina, part of a generation that the children of the Southerners who left the South and sent us back south. My parents were born and raised in Orangeburg County, and left over 50 years ago, looking for better opportunities for their newborn son, my brother, and the babies yet to come, me, and got here as a student without a clue as to what I was going to do with my life, and found an incredibly welcoming, warm community that was in need of just one more strong back to try and carry the load. Found a place that was rich in culture and rich in history, but had a whole lot more potential than we were realizing, and just figured back then as a 17-year-old that I wanted to play a role in helping shape the South Carolina that I really felt we could be. I've been blessed along the way to meet a whole lot of men and women who are black and white, who are Christians and Jewish and Muslim, and people who saw some value in investing in me, and I tried to not take that for granted. Go do some great things, and at the very same time recognize that every day you got to pay it forward. So we spent a lot of time investing in young people and young talent, and trying to help everyone live up to their God-given potential.
Yeah. Well, you've done an amazing job making your dreams come true. Now, Mayor, can you please share with us, the sweetie pies, why Columbia is such a beautiful place to work, to live, to study? Because we have great educational institutions to play and be entertained. And most importantly, why is Columbia famously hot?
You know, this really is a special place. One of America's very first planned cities, the very first planned capital city in the country. We have a natural infrastructure, a built infrastructure, and a human infrastructure that is unlike many places you can go in the world. A Carnegie Research One University at the University of South Carolina, 2 historically black colleges in our downtown, other fantastic educational institutions where people can get high quality educations. The Army's largest training base in the entire world here in Fort Jackson, serving this community for the last 100 years and serving the world by helping keep America safe. 3 beautiful rivers that serve as the western border of our city, with the Congaree is formed by the Broad and Saluda rivers, offering world-class rowing opportunities for the city, and a growing arts and cultural infrastructure that's serving as a real magnet for the most talented and educated and entrepreneurial people from all across the world. Of course, you have a few months between May and September where we are indeed famously hot, and people comment to me all the time, this is one of the warmest places in the world. But we've been spending a lot of time lately with our new tagline that we are the real Southern hotspot, that we're the place where things are happening across the board in arts and culture, economic development, job creation, and creating a place where entrepreneurs can live out their life's dreams, and becoming a city for all people, for all people, where diversity and inclusion don't just become words that we use, but really become inculcating into our way of life here. It's a special place, and I feel very strongly that we're finally living up to our potential.
Yeah.
It's downright exciting. We believe early on and very strongly that every community is emotionally bound to its main street. Some people come here, they can't pronounce Gervais Street or Hegee Street or what have you, but everyone who lives here and people who visit a community will judge it by how vibrant your main street is. What type of connected, attractive, street level walking experience do you have? What types of restaurants and clothing stores and just places for citizens to recreate? What types of arts and cultural and educational institutions you have? And we decided upon a strategy that was focused on building a strong, vibrant, dense urban core with those types of experiences. And you can surround them with some beautiful neighborhoods. And then, the benefit of being here in the American South is in 15, 20 minutes, you can be in the rural hunting for boar or fishing for bass, whatever you want to do. But it starts with a good, strong urban core that serves as not just a center of all cultural and fun activity, but also as your economic tax base. One tower downtown provides more taxes than a 400-unit subdivision in the outskirts of town, without the environmental disruption or all the building you have to do to build a road or build water sewer infrastructure. So it's a smart development. And we focus like a laser beam on that strategy, and whether it's new buildings or adaptively reusing historic buildings, making them attractive and places for new business owners and restaurants. It's come together, and we've seen hundreds of millions of dollars of new private sector capital come into downtown. People eating at new restaurants or drinking wine at the new wine bar, and soon will be bowling next to the Nickelodeon Independent Movie Theater. Our art museum and our Richland County Library have both distinguished themselves as national treasures, both within the IMLS Award of Excellence in the last 2 years. We're getting some stuff done, and it's representative of everyone buying into a collective vision that if we are going to do it, we're going to do it by starting downtown and moving out. And everyone's starting, I think, now really to see it all come together. I'd encourage anyone who's interested in the arts, those who are interested in large-scale productions, to those who might just be interested in public art, or maybe a new age type artist who's trying to do something different, to reach out to One Columbia to learn more about the different offerings that One Columbia, with the support of the city and the private sector and other philanthropic institutions, might be able to help them get up and running. But One Columbia started as part of our transition team. So it was one of our committees of our transition team that we established in 2010, and has become the de facto cultural arts office of the entire city, doing incredible things in public art and helping steward all things arts in this community, including now leading and helping us to develop a cultural plan for the entire region. But incredible things happening at One Columbia, and what I love most about what's happening there is that there's become a much greater recognition of power and influence of the arts, that we're actually talking about component parts of an overall creative economy, that people may come here to dance at one of our studios. They may come because they're a graphic artist or what have you. But if not them, then probably a spouse or a significant other. There's also a computer programmer or coder or an educator, or that it serves as it's serving as a focal point for many component parts of an overall creative economy, and that's powerful.
But there's another group of young people that you help, the Talented 10. This is an awesome group of young entrepreneurs. And you said at Imperial that this group is important because by means of this group's leadership and business acumen, that really it can help attract businesses to Columbia. Can you tell our Sweetie Pies a little bit more about the Talented 10 and why it's so important to have this young group of entrepreneurs here in Columbia?
Sure. When we founded the Talented 10th, I guess 7 years ago, it was intentionally focused on building the ties that bind with so many talented African American young professionals that come to Columbia to attend college at Benedict or USC or Allen University or Columbia College, find themselves here through a job promotion or a professional opportunity, but don't have that connection to the community. And we recognize that just like any other community across the country, maybe around the world, sometimes if you don't meet people at work and you don't want to be in a nightclub in the middle of the night, and obviously you can usually only go to one church at a time, if you don't meet people in those settings, it's rare to ever develop real relationships. So it was an opportunity to focus on the social setting that young professionals needed to develop the professional networking opportunities that were important, and also use it as a venue to try and draw the historical ties into the narrative. Columbia, South Carolina has a rich and deep history as part of the African American experience. The state obviously has a rich, unique, and also painful history. So we saw this as an opportunity to make sure that everyone who came through this city understood the connection between where we were, where we are, and where we're going. And the 10th serves as a chance to help everyone develop a sense of place, to accelerate the opportunities that people have to connect in meaningful and fruitful and community building ways. And it's been really exciting to watch the growth of the Talented 10.
Yeah. Mayor, you're very humble, very Malinique, but I want our Sweetie Pies to know that you are no lightweight. And the reason why I say this is because the Washington Post Route 100, and Route 100, that's a list of the most influential African Americans. That's right up there with Jay-Z, Beyonce, John Legend, Tyler Perry, and guess who else is on the list? Steve Benjamin, our mayor. What did it feel like for you when you saw yourself among this list of celebrities and well-known people that, you know what, people are recognizing what I'm doing, and I'm getting accolades, I'm getting acknowledgement for my hard work?
It was a lot of fun. I will say that it was a lot of fun, and attending some of the Roots events was a wonderful opportunity for me and for DeAndre. But I won't hesitate to admit that a lot of the things that we've done have been done very intentionally to make sure that Columbia gets its rightful place on the world stage. We know that we are working every single day to punch above our weight, and we know the kind of special place that we have here, and I see each of these as opportunities to wave our hand, to flex a little bit of muscle, to show not just humility but a bit of hubris, and to brag about what's happening here in our city, what we've been doing in terms of job creation, what we've been doing in terms of environmental stewardship, what we've been doing to run a very efficient and effective city, what we've been doing in terms of arts and culture. And I see all these as just a chance just to go out and flex on behalf of my city a little bit. I don't mind saying that. And but it's we're just thankful for the chance. And I'll be honest with you, we're not even close to being done yet.
You know, I want to ask you something about what you said that you were going to do in 2017. Now, you may have done it, I don't know yet, but I saw where you said in 2017 that you were going to run a 5K with no shirt. How's that happen?
I've been hoping that more people would forget that I've not yet run the 5K. We'll be running the 5K later this year, but it's an overall commitment to health and wellness. I am down almost 30 pounds. And I'm going to lose a little bit more weight, and yes, eventually the shirt will come off, and I'm all about keeping my promises. So y'all pray for me.
All right, we will. And when you do, please be sure to say hello to the Sweetie Pies. You know, Mayor Benjamin, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule today to be a guest on Pecan Pie. You know, you're doing an amazing job for our city. It is growing and it is thriving under your leadership. And I just want to thank you again for being a guest today.
Well, thank you.
And one last question. Was it as easy as pie?
Yes, it was easy as pie.